Howdy, this is Marisa from Marisa Moments Podcast, where I give you my real life stories and their healing translations. So let's just get straight into it. So I've been receiving divine instruction since the beginning of time, essentially, right? However, I didn't really recognize what it was until, I'd say like a few years back, let me take that back. It's not that I didn't recognize it, it's that I hadn't chose to acknowledge it, if I'm being real, right? And so what I'd like to do is I had these little stipulations, right? I was in the first rounds of negotiations and I'm like, okay, I see your offer, but how about this? And then I slide it back to them on this invisible table. And it's like, okay, let's see what you can do with that. Now come to me with some real numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I have to laugh because this is real talk. This is something that I would definitely have done. So when it came down to, my diet, I was instructed to cut meat out of my diet. Now, again, as a disclaimer, because I love my disclaimers, I'm not telling you to cut meat out of your diet. I'm just telling you that this was a part of my divine instruction, so that's what I had to do. So, mind you, I was going from essentially a keto diet. Again, consult your doctor before trying it. Anyway, so I went from all meat to no meat. And it was a struggle. So when I received that divine instruction, first and foremost, it took me a while to even want to acknowledge that was the instruction. I was like, I know, but yeah, maybe, perhaps I'll just eat meat on the weekends, one of those types of things, right? And it wasn't until I basically had to give all the way in and say, okay, this is what we're doing now, that I started to receive more divine downloads. Again, I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm just telling you about myself. So back to the instructions that were given to me. Then I was told to stop drinking. Now, this one actually came prior to the whole meat situation. So it wasn't like I was a heavy drinker. I never drank heavily. I drink socially, but whatever, that's me judging myself and feeling the need to prevent you from judging me as well. That was a lot of roundabouts. But anyway, hopefully you followed. So when I got that instruction, I was like, okay, cool. So I'll stop drinking, except at social functions, which I gave myself an allowance of one drink because, that's not going to kill anybody, right? Wrong. Wrong literally and proverbially speaking. There we go. And so again, I just have to chuckle at it now because obviously at this point I'm not drinking any alcohol and I'm completely fine with it. I've made my peace with it and it's not something that I really had to struggle with. The realization that I had is that my struggle was more so about how would people perceive me? I'm going from, this social drinker, meat-eating, social drinking child of the universe to dry. And I didn't want to be seen as that, right? I didn't want people to look at me like, who do you think you are? Or oh, wow, that's really boring. How do you expect to function, right? That was me judging me. But anyway, that's not the purpose of this, this podcast. The point and the translation that I received from it is stop trying to put stipulations on your divine instructions. You know who you are. You know what they are. So you have to take them as you receive them. In some cases, yes, there is room for negotiation and interpretation, but when you know. So stop fighting what you know you need to do. After all, those very instructions could be the only thing holding you back from your destiny. And this isn't fear-based, it just is what it is. So that's it. And if this message resonates, then that means it's for you. And if not, that's cool too. Just keep it pushing. Either way, I thank you for listening and I wish you the best day ever. Until next time, you know the vibes. Peace. And don't forget to check me out on all of social media. Marisa Moments, that's Marisa with one S because there is only one me.